Hi everyone, my name's Kathy. Welcome to my frugality channel, Skint Living UK. Today I thought I'd do 10 money saving tips. This is sort of like the 101 of being frugal. So if you've heard them all before, I apologise. I'm just hoping that you might pick up a thing or two. I'm a 59-year-old lady who lives in England, in the UK, on the northwest coast. As you can tell by my accent, I come from the city of Liverpool and have always lived, one way or another, a frugal life, as us Brits call skint, broke, living on a low income, living on a low budget, whatever way you want to phrase it, basically where money is tight. So I'm just going to do 10 broad tips and also waffle in between, and I hope you get to the end, and let's get into it. So number one, make a budget. I know you probably don't want to make a budget. A lot of people who are struggling financially, especially if their income is less than their outgoings, you don't really want to face it. But at the end of the day, you need to sit down, whether it's a piece of paper, on a spreadsheet, on your computer, on your phone, whatever way you find most comfortable, maybe even using an app. It's whatever way suits you best. I like to write everything in a little diary, a paper diary. At the front I've got my ingoings and outgoings, and I write down everything that I do financially. Because I think you need to know where you stand, and if you are actually spending more than what you have, that's the main source of your issues, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? So you need to stay under budget to stay afloat. Very basic. I would look at your outgoings, the amounts and the dates. So when you're writing your income and your outgoings, you need to list how much it is, the ones that are fixed or flexible, and put parameters on it, and the dates that they're going out. If you're living beyond your means, can you bring in extra money in some way? Can you do a little side hustle? Can you find work that will supplement your main body of work? If you've got no time, there's a lack of time, or like a lot of people like myself, when you're a single mum, single parent, you might have the extra bit of time at home, but you haven't got enough money for extra childcare, because as we all know, childcare is so punitively expensive these days. You don't really want to have someone minding the kids while you're doing that extra bit of work, because it sort of wipes out what your extra earnings are. So if you do a little bit of Vinted, Depop is it, eBay, selling off your stuff that you don't really need anymore, it's a great way to declutter and get rid of all the stuff around yourself, because it's better to have the money than to have the thing. If it's not lack of time, is it lack of skills? I used to buy second-hand furniture and reupholster them, and I started with something basic like a stool, and then I sort of pushed my way forward, so in the end I could do proper armchairs and a chaise longue I did once. So like with anything else, if you're learning new skills, have a look online. YouTube is a great wealth of resources there, of videos, people showing you how to do everything and anything. I really recommend it. Number 3, it's time to cut out all the unnecessary items, rather than stretching yourself too far and thinking to yourself, do I really need that? Being a single mum, I've never had a car, so all the costs to do with that, there's no car notice, there's no credit, going out every month paying for it. I'm not paying for fuel, I'm not paying for oil changes, I'm not paying for insurance, I'm not paying for the upkeep of the car, I'm not paying for it to get cleaned, because we've never had a car. I always used to say to my kids, you've got 2 choices: we have a car, because they were always moaning we didn't have a car, or we go on holiday. So we used to go on holiday, not every year, but we went away a lot. If we were in the UK, we tended to go to places like York, Scarborough, Whitby, that sort of thing on the northeast coast. Or locally, we'd spend a day in places like New Brighton or up to Southport, that sort of thing. And if we went abroad, we tended to go to places that were cheap. In the 90s, we used to go to Portugal because they weren't in Europe then. They were still on the escudos rather than the euros, so it was dirt cheap then. And then later on, we used to go to Turkey a lot. So we'd be based in Marmaris or Kusadasi. And it was great for me because I love ancient history and archaeology. So we used to go, I used to say, well, if we're going to somewhere like that, I want to go and see some ruins. I want to go and see some history. So that was the trade-off. We'd go to aqua parks and beaches and stuff like that, the pool. But we also had to go and see some history. Sorry, I keep looking to the side. I've got a little list going. Another thing I've never had is a dishwasher and a tumble dryer because they're expensive to buy, expensive to run, especially now in the UK as energy prices are about to go up yet again. Yeah. All those small appliances in your kitchen, do you use them? I've got mine stashed in the cupboard in the pantry. You know, like an air fryer, slow cooker, blender, electric can opener. If you're not using them, deep fat fryer, what's the point in having them? Get them out of the way. They're just dust collectors. Give them to friends and family or put them up for sale. Or worst case scenario, go and give them to charity. Because then you're not spending the energy cleaning the thing, even when it's just sitting there on the shelf getting greasy and dusty, or expending energy as in electricity to power the thing. Because if it's of no use to you, if it's rare, get rid of it. Another way of cutting your outgoings is to get rid of television subscriptions like Sky and Netflix. Maybe you could do dip in and dip out. Right, Netflix, you don't have a contract saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be with you for the next 2 years. I know you do with Sky, but maybe get the basic package. At most, the problem with having Sky is there's live TV, and here in the UK, if you watch any live TV, you have to have a TV licence. And since we've been in this house since 2020, I got rid of my TV licence. So yet again, it's another bill out the window. I don't have to pay. Reduce your media time as well, because you know, you might look at people's pretty houses and think, oh, I want that, I want to buy this. These influencers trying to sell you tat. Or you just generally see other people's clothing or housing and you think, oh, I love that mirror, I love that rug, I love this, I love that, or I love that dress, I love those shoes, and you end up spending money on something. And it might not necessarily suit you. You might be looking at a girl who's 23, thin as a rake, and she's wearing a flattering dress, and you put her on and it just makes you feel frumpy, old, out of touch, and maybe... Yeah, and you've spent like, I don't know, 80 quid on that dress, and you just think that 80 quid could have gone off a debt, could have gone on a load of shopping, could have gone off your energy bill. Yeah, just stay off the media as much as you can, even though I'm talking to you through it. I don't look at Facebook, I don't use Instagram, I don't use any of them. I think they can be quite toxic, these places. So the only social media I use myself is YouTube, because I'm always looking at videos for things that will help me and light entertainment, because I love a funny cat video like The Best of Us. Number 4, set up automatic payments for your outgoings. In the States they call it auto pay. Here in the UK we have a choice of direct debit or standing order. If you've got a choice, I would definitely opt for standing orders. Set up things that I pay my water through standing order, because I can change the date, I can change the amount. So if I'm a bit flush, I can pay a bit more. If I'm a bit skint, I can pay a bit less. Or if your payment date slightly changes, say like at the end of the month, and it slightly drifts between the 29th and the 31st, with the standing order, you can change the date. So it doesn't, it gives you the power, not the company. So once all your bills are sorted and on automatic pay, auto pay, standing order, direct debit, see what you've got left and withdraw that money. And live off that money. So if it's for the month, split it up into sections. So you say that's for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and those last few days. Or if you get paid weekly, just draw out that money, and then you know that's your budget. You can't spend any more, and it's a great way of avoiding credit, because you know, okay, I've got 100 quid sitting there. That's my £100 for spending. You might think, right, I've got £80 for food, the £20 is for sundries like travel to work or travel, or little bits and bobs that you need to get. Like, oh, you need to go and get some milk or a loaf of bread from the shop. That's your sundry money. Did you know in the UK we throw out 20% of our food? In the States it's even worse, it's 40%. So for every £100 you're spending, every $100, like in the States you're throwing $40 away, in the UK we're throwing £20 away. Use what you've got, don't waste it. It's too valuable, it's too expensive these days. Right, where we're up to. Number 5. Get yourself out of debt. You can do the debt snowball, where you start with the smallest item and work your way through, or the debt avalanche, where you go for the biggest amount. I would look at the rates of interest and probably try and get rid of the biggest rate of interest. I had 8 debts at one point, and I just did the little ones as I went along, and I've got one debt now that I've been paying off the last 2 years, and that was some council tax arrears, but there's no interest on that, and I've agreed with the council to pay them £30 a month because I'm on a low income. So I pay that £30, and some months I pay a little bit more, but that's the bare minimum, £30 standing order, and that goes to them. So I'm paying me regular council tax and the arrears each month, and nobbling it bit by bit, and hopefully when I sell the house, if there's any left outstanding, I'll just get rid of it. Number 6, keep track of your spending. Have a paper book. I've got a book, a diary, that every time I go out and spend anything, I write it down. I keep track, and at the end of the week I write down how much I've spent, where it's gone, what I'm doing. You could have a fancy schmancy spreadsheet if you want, or use there's money apps now, like the Dave Ramsey's one, that every dollar one. Just keep track of it. Number 7, definitely have a banking app. I go on mine every day, check it every day, so there's no horrible surprises. Or you might want to change your standing order to a different date or a different amount. So keep control of your finances through a banking app. Marvellous they are. Wish they were out years ago. 8, cut house expenses. Try and reduce your bills as much as you can. Cut little things. Like around the house, I don't use bin bags anymore. I just rinse the bin out with washing water from my dishwashing, because I hand wash stuff because I don't have a dishwasher. So that gets slooshed around and put down the drain. So that's how I keep my bin clean. I don't use bin bags. I don't use shopping bags. I made one from old jeans. You can buy a popper bag anywhere. Secondhand, go to the thrift store, charity shop, pick up a bag. You don't need to be buying plastic bags. They're 40p, 50p, 60p. Sometimes they're well over £1. Just get rid of the plastic in your life. Get rid of services like your newspaper being delivered, or your magazines being delivered, whether that's on subscription or from a local shop, because they have to pay a delivery person and you're paying for that extra. I got rid of my window cleaner because he was lying. He was saying he was doing it every 2 weeks when he wasn't. I'm at home. I can see whether he's cleaned or not. He doesn't. I'm going to pay a window cleaner just before I put the house up for sale, because I haven't had my windows cleaned for ages. And you can go on the internet and book one. So you don't need to be paying some fella every fortnight for your windows. So get rid of those sorts of services. Do some little bits of DIY around the house. As you know, I'm on a lot of my videos, I do DIY. As again, YouTube and online will help you do that, or get some books out the library, or buy a cheapy book on eBay. You can get books for £2-3 these days, free post. Cut out personal expenses. Have a clothes audit, shoes audit, toiletries, makeup, bags. Look at all the stuff. Do you need millions of razors in your bathroom cabinet? Do you need loads of work clothes? I went through I had 18 pairs of jeans. Yeah, 18. Some of them were worn out and some of them were too small, some were too big. So I had a big clothes order. Some went to the charity shop and some, the worn out ones, I'm using them for crafting because there's a resource there. So see if you can sell anything on, get rid of it, give it to family and friends. Same like if you're working as well as all the work clothes. Bring your own food, bring your own drink, get a water bottle. So if you're out and about, you've got your own drink. Bring a snack, bring some biscuits with you, some cookies with you, so you don't have to be buying food while you're out and about. And have a food audit. I've just recently done that. I've gone through all my tins. I've dated them. I've wrote them on a marker so I know where there's holes and stuff that I need. Because you should have 2 of everything that you use. So you use one, I've got a spare one. So case of emergency, like if you're sick, if you're ill, you've got no money, you're broke, or you're so tired after work, you just don't want to go out and go and pick up that washing up liquid. You don't want to go and get that loaf of bread or a pint of milk. And you've got the spare one there, and then you can replace it when you are in the right mood or you have got the money. Always have at least one and a spare. So have 2 of most things if you possibly can. Every time you go shopping, just pick up one thing, 1 extra tin of beans, 1 packet of razors, 1 bar of soap, just to build up that little buffer. So when times are tough, you've got your buffer there. Learn to cook from scratch. Again, YouTube, books from the charity shop, buy a bit of cookbook online, cheapy ones you can get on eBay for £2-3 free post, and learn how to cook. Ask friends and family, show you how to cook a meal, and then always keep 1 spare portion of it. Like if I've got loads of curry and rice in my freezer, so when I can't be bothered cooking, it's there. And then you can just blast it in the microwave and it's done. So on those really tired days when you can't be bothered, the food's there for you. And it's not going to cost you nothing, which is better than getting a takeaway, which is overpriced, overprocessed, full of salt, full of fat and really bad for you. So I hope you found something useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.